This is going to be a fun video. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Open one of every first edition in a row, experience it, talk about it, the art, slow roll it, maybe hit some cool shit. There's more negativity cropping back up in the community. There always is. I'm not expecting it to ever go away, but I'm going to try and counteract it with this little video rather than rant about it. So one of every first edition in a row. I'll try and remember to talk about my experiences, my favorite cards in each set, starting with Everfest, and we'll finish off with Alpha Welcome to Wraith, because of course we wouldn't be here without that product, and it's the best product. So this Everfest, fresh on everyone's mind, 2022 release, second supplementary set. I don't know the sales numbers for this product, but I want to imagine that it's probably their most successful to date. From the reception and the amount of noise that you hear and people enjoying the product, the opening videos, the cool stuff you can get in this product. So Everfest is also the first set with the paper wraps. Of course, this is you're watching this in 2022 most likely right now, so you already know that. But this video might be relevant historically. So in this set you had Carnival slot right after the foil. So it goes Rainbow Foil, Carnival, and Rare or Majestic. It's the first set to have the possibility of a triple rare pack, which has been hit multiple times. I personally haven't hit one yet. It's the first set with a double-sided cold foil hero, which I would really like to hit on camera. Haven't been able to yet. It has no talents, meaning none of the talent heroes got specific support like Shadow and Light, like the elemental heroes as well. But all in all, I think it's really changed the meta. I don't know if it's for the better or worse, but that's not my expertise. I believe the upside down Carnival slot here. I believe star of the show Bravo is kicking ass right now, but it's very, very early days to know if that's okay. We got some upside down Carnival slot in this particular. I have seen the upside down before. Everfest is probably my favorite aesthetic set so far. I think they nailed a lot of things. The foiling is not too bright or too dull. The art is very gritty and thematic to each class. Like warrior cards are very obviously warrior cards in that sense. They added a lot of specializations, which brought up some heroes that were struggling, and at the time this has come out, the game probably needed the support the most. And this just shows you what LSS can do with time, with the right client base. This is an absolutely amazing product, both from the packs themselves being paper and recyclable to the different mechanics and power levels that have been added in, to the flavor, to the meme cards like Bingo and T-Bone, which are, although very playable, have obviously obvious humor, obvious tongue-in-cheek in some. The flavor text on the bottom of cards is quite funny as well, especially on some of the potions. All in all, this was an insane product. I got to obviously preview a box. I clickbaited a lot of you in good fun, just trying to share my excitement of opening it early before the preview season and with a friend in the flesh and blood. Most of you got it, some didn't, but that's okay. Our first foil Majestic is a good example of how good this set is. Rolling without a downside is very good. You roll and you get X amount, being whatever you rolled. For Brute, it's insane. I've been hit by that card. Someone rolled a 6, plus another couple of things they did. I think they swung in for 18, which wasn't even the biggest hit they could have done. Favorite art in the set? I haven't actually... Well, first of all, the coolest legendary in the set. Let's talk about that for a second. This is also very centered. This card looks amazing. They finally gave us the lore accurate lore LORE shield for Oldhim. The stalagmite. Powerful item. Can be used. Here we go. This is my favorite art of the set, is Timekeeper's Whim. Looks sick in foil. It's eclectic, I guess is the word some people use. It's old school. Looks psychedelic. Looks like something from the 80s. From an 80s card game, I should say. Legendaries in this set were welcomed with some, is the word chagrin? Some people were unhappy. If we hit a second legendary in this box, I'll explain why. But basically, it's a merchant card, which people, because no one's super invested in merchant, were unhappy, which is crazy, right? Because everything has to be about you, and if it's not something you play, blah, blah, blah. Sick legendary, in my opinion. I can't wait to see the day where we get to see merchants being played, especially in a PvE environment, or like Ultimate Pit Fight, which this is a sick hit. Signal Jam is quite hard to hit, especially in foil. Ultimate Pit Fight's not really played a lot in my local scene in Australia, which is fine. I don't mind the slightly more competitive scene that I'm in, but the legendary for the merchant is absolutely insane for Ultimate Pit Fight and PvE purposes. That's all I'm going to say. There we go. Majestic. Very good ones too. Fire Breathing is like a new exude confidence. Probably weaker. It is weaker, but you can technically run both in a deck, so weak is irrelevant. If it's good on its own merit, then run both sets. Last two packs. So very good Everfest box. Cannot complain when you hit a legendary. Everfest also brought in all these new potions, which are starting to find their place. There we go, second cold foil of the box in the last pack. So the potions, amulets, some people had strong opinions about, but there are some of them that are nearly no-brainer to play, especially against certain decks. Some stop people drawing cards, some prevent combos. All in all, I think the set's great. It's a hit. There's a lot of cards that people want. The new Bravo cold foil double-sided shenanigan is an absolutely insane ballsy move from LSS, which works really well. It's a chase card. Why would you play Starvo, the new Bravo, Super Bravo? What other things people calling him? Why would you play him in the non-extended foil version, Cold foil extended art, I should say. You're insane. It's the only way to play him. This is a very good product too. For me personally, this contains nearly no cards that I actually play, but I've drafted this and it's really fun to draft. There's elemental cards. There's a first set with elemental cards. Tales of Aria. Very much a lot of people's favorite art in the set. It's vibrant, it's colorful, it's ice, lightning, and earth. There's generic elemental cards, and to draft, this is a good experience. When it came to collectability, maybe less so for some people. It was also the first set that has a rainbow foil in every pack, irrespective of if you hit a cold foil. I believe that might have been to avoid pack weighing. Foil, Majestic, Seek and Destroy. And the spicy hit slot in Aria is this equipment slot. So you either get like a common token equipment or you have a chance for a cold foil in that slot. Very, very cool. This and Everfest have that, and every other set didn't. So that's a unique... Did I say Everfest? Yes, Everfest and Aria had that, and no other set did before. The foiling in Aria is probably the most vibrant. I think it has more to do with the background and border colors than it has to do with the like technology they used or different foiling style. But I wouldn't know. I didn't print any of it. I'm just commenting on what I know. All right, there we go. See, cold foil happens in the equipment slot. Mark of Lightning, cold foil. So draft products in Flesh and Blood so far, if you want some market advice or whatever, so far the talent ones, so Tales of Aria is our first non-foil Majestic. Tales of Aria and Monarch. I believe a big reason why the boxes never spiked in a huge way and kept that way is because they don't cater to every player. If you are a competitive player, you probably like them because you're drafting. So that's your way of, you know, you're probably buying product or buying into drafts in your store. But overall, most players playing constructed formats, unless they were playing a hero from one of the sets, probably took a miss on sort of opening a lot of it. Or buying a lot of singles for that matter. It really depends. So I believe because this particular card game, among others, but definitely in Flesh and Blood, there are people that only collect, and I was one of them when I first started, not knowing that a set is, you know, in Aria, it's 3 heroes that are talent-based, and you have to, you know, be playing the heroes in the set if you're going to find a lot of value in the cards. Is maybe a reason why you can still buy a lot of Tales of Aria First Edition. I think this product will probably age very well, if not one of the better sets. It's absolutely beautiful cards. Also, the talent pool, so the heroes with talents is very small, but if there were 20 or 30 elemental heroes, you're going to come back to this set. There's some crazy good cards in this set if that's the style you're playing. Also, every Rune Blade plays with, that's not the card, but every Rune Blade currently probably plays with the weapon for Rune Blades from this, Rosetta Thorn. It is a token. You're not going to buy boxes to play with that, but it did bring a lot to certain classes that, you know, again, if you specifically played them, you'd want to have some of the cards from this set. Overall, not my favorite set. It's the only one I've drafted, aside from the Welcome the Wraith Unlimited draft events that were held recently. But Sling of Sorcery, Majestic. I think this set will... It's also the first set that came out with cold foil Majestic spells or playable cards. I'm trying to think if that's true. But the alternate art stuff in this set is very cool. It was the first to have them. Like a good example is that right? Yes, it is. Channel Lake Frigid, completely alternate art rainbow foil with a fox on the frozen river. Little Easter egg. It's also a beautiful just piece of art to look at. If we hit it, I'll show you. He also had cold foil pulses. So there's 3 double element cards in this set, which very strong, very, very powerful. They're getting more powerful now with heroes like the new Bravo, who's also elemental, and suddenly those cards are required in that deck to get his ability off the ground, which is to fuse with all 3 elements in one turn, or reveal all 3 elements, because they are the only cards in the game that have dual element. If we hit a pulse, I will show you. But yeah, this set is the foundation for the 3 elements. They've just released 2 new elemental heroes in Everfest, and I imagine the way we're heading is there'll be many, many more, and you will always come back to this set to kit those heroes out. So if there's a lot of stock, if you think the pricing is low, that's a huge positive. if that's going to be, if I'm right, if the case is that you're going to want to come back to the set often in the future. Monarch, which we'll get to next, very similar. Difference is older product, came off the back of Crucible, which was most people's favorite product, and I'll get into that when we get to Crucible, but also, except for having 4 heroes, it only has 2 talents, Light and Shadow, and same thing, right now, not the biggest draw, unless you play the specific decks or the heroes that were supported in that deck, but that's likely to change drastically as the game gets bigger. The second there's new Light and Shadow heroes that people want to play. Okay, there's a Pulse. See, it's Earth Lightning. It's the only way to get these double elements is with one of the pulses. But yeah, Monarch, the next Shadow hero that pops up. You know, Light Ranger, Shadow Ninja, whatever they end up combining and mixing, people will need to go back to Monarch for cards, and I can't wait for that. All right, ordinary box. In Tales of Aria, you generally will hit 1 cold foil a box, but it's a common, so value-wise, this is terrible right now. But lucky we're opening. Did I do that right? No, I didn't. There's a rare in my common pile, which if you're a subscriber, you know happens often around here. But that's the box. Actually, very low EV box. So you'd usually hit 8 Majestics. We've hit 7, including a 4 and 1 common cold foil. I imagine the case I pulled this box out of probably has some very good stuff in it. It's usually how this works. A lot of the EV, expected value or estimated value of Flesh and Blood product is by case. Although, buy your loose boxes and packs if you can't afford cases. Don't listen to anyone. I've seen enough Fables pulled from loose boxes and packs. I've pulled many myself. Monarch. This was out when I started playing, so this was the latest set when I got into the game. The first box I ever opened was Crucible, but the first set I joined when had released is Monarch. Monarch skyrocketed in value and then dropped, although I was talking to my friend Tall Timmy today. I don't know what that's trying to focus on. Anyway, I'll move around, it'll find me. Talking to him today, like, Monarch is an insanely successful set, and it's only 2 sets deep, like it's only 2 sets ago. It's still double what the retail was, so the boxes would have come out at 99 Australian dollars, and you cannot buy them for less than 200 Australian dollars right now, which is a huge success, if you think about it. All right, so we got, I think, 11 or 12 commons in Monarch. It is tricky to open Flesh and Blood because each set is a little different. See, this goes commons, foil, common, rares. It's weird. The back is a token. This set brought in, where are we? Okay, Monarch has much more dim or subtle foiling, so I'll try and, you barely see that on camera as it is. Monarch brought in the first illusionist, only illusionist to date, people's favorite, one of people's favorite heroes, very strong meta hero as well. Spill Blood is an awesome Majestic to hit, especially with the meta for Dory Axes right now, in foil as well. It brought in the second, an incredibly strong chain Rune Blade hero, which was the result of the victim or target of many bans, but still very strong and playable just around the hero design itself. Bolton and Levia, probably less meta heroes, but still very cool to play. And again, repeating the point we made about Tails, this set will age incredibly well because you're going to have to come back. And there's one of Bolton's weapons. Well, that's the only Bolton weapon, really, because the other weapons he uses are just generic warrior axes or swords. But yeah, this set will age very well. It has to, because as sets come out with new heroes that require elemental support, you're going to have to come back for light and shadow cards. Some synergies, some cards maybe that today might appear, double herald or triumph. This is also the set that has the most double ups in my opinion, where you get the same card in different pitch a lot. I never got to draft Monarch, but I've been told it's quite fun to draft. It does have 4 heroes, which is probably, for most people, more fun to draft than 3. If you've drafted, you'll know why. It's just, you're more likely to have an even mixture of heroes at your table or in your pod. I think the next Shadow and Light heroes to come out are going to be mind-blowingly fun. They've had a lot of time between Monarch and whenever the next Light and Shadow cards come out, so looking forward to that. I like grading baubles, and you can see this one has a nick, so it's not going to get graded. So this particular video is I'm probably going to title it like Love Letter to LSS. I don't think they need any encouragement. I think when you're like creatively fulfilled and you're developing a good product, and there's little hiccups on the way, but overall you're seeing success, I don't think you care as much about the noise from, like, you know, what's this? Okay, cold foil, common, Ironhide legs. But yeah, it's going to be called that because I'm playing the game and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I'm going to a Pro Quest in another state. I'm going to 2 more Pro Quests in my state. I'm flying to Pro Tour in Jersey in May, which is a few months away now. Like, this product's amazing. The game's amazing to play. The product's amazing to open. The, like, chase cards, the lottery cards are absolutely sick and well designed and gorgeous to look at. So I've always wanted to sort of open one of every first edition set box in a row, just experience the journey. If you're a new player or you haven't had the opportunity to open all the first eds, you get to experience it at least once. In this video, you can see the progression of some of the art. I probably should slow roll through some comments for you, but this video would take too long. This is one of the chase cards in the set, if you're not aware. Alternate Art Galaxy Black, it turns into a whip. And it's got to be one of the coolest looking flesh and blood cards in existence. Not the most playable, but that's another story. So Monarch, I think, was the first set that you were, the chances of hitting a cold foil were nearly 1 per box. And I think that had a slight detrimental effect on the product. When they're not as rare, or if every box is something special, I think that plays into, it being less cool. It's less, it's evident by the pricing of the cold foils in Monarch are very, very low price compared to the previous 3 sets to it. Seek Enlightenment. And some more rares. Monarch, I think, has the biggest card pool. I think the numbers go up to like 270 something. Lots of cards. Hard to get one of each. And rares. But yeah, Monarch was the first unlimited set I ever opened because I couldn't get my hands on much first edition when I started collecting the game. Just didn't know where to look, really. And the first heroes I ever played were from Monarch in the pre-con decks, the Blitz. What are they called? Having a mental blank, but they're pre-constructed decks. The Blitz decks you can buy at the store. I played Bolton, which was the only hero in the set I could wrap my head around the mechanics and make work. I think LSS is working on a new product for teaching people how to play, which is great. It's probably well needed. Like, I've tried to teach people how to play. I usually use the IRA decks, which work really well. But I think they're working on something way cooler than the Iridex, according to James White, which is exciting. Let's see what happens there. And that should come out in April, which is soon. It's February right now. And then June is a new draft set. And then the end of the year, we get another supplementary set. I imagine will be focused or have more focus on Sonata Arcanic's very strong meta card right now. How does this bobble look? It's not terrible. Yeah, corners are not perfect. Neither is the centering. I need a 10, you know? I'm trying to get a quad 10 cracked bobble. Alright, this is the last pack of our Monarch box. I'm hoping all this... I mean, look, we hit a legendary in Everfest, which is great. So I shouldn't say we've had bad luck, but the last two boxes, not the best. But that's okay, because the more expensive product's coming up now, so one can hope that our luck changes. Monarch, not my favorite set, although probably has more to do with how subtle the foiling is and how few of the cards, again, I play myself in decks that I like to play. But, like I said, that's going to change, and I'll probably switch to an Elemental here. I've started playing Icelander, and that's really fun, so as the game grows and as these sets come out, I think some of these products will come back into the forefront of people's minds and be required, whether to open or to buy singles from. The first supplementary set for Flesh and Blood, the reason I started collecting Flesh and Blood is Crucible of War. 10 pack cards, 10 card packs, like in Everfest. Foil slot, and then the rares in the back. The foil slot is where you hit the nice stuff in Crucible. The original Crucible printing actually had the foil in the back as the very last card, which caused some problems, and I believe they changed for the second print run. I wasn't around for that. Like, I don't think I've ever opened one with the foils on the back. These boxes actually came to me from Germany in a trade, which is cool. So, wish me luck. The first box I ever opened of Flesh and Blood was a Crucible First Edition box after watching Rudy from Alpha Investments open one. And I pulled a Shiana in like the first or second pack, and I never looked back. The card at the time was worth significantly more than the box it came in, and that was a, a very cool thing to be exposed to on your first box. Whoops, I'm just throwing packs around now. This was the first set to introduce a legendary hero, and still the only one to have done so. She's not extremely strong, but I hold to the belief that it's because she can play every specialization in the game. It's likely to be that she gets infinitely stronger in time. I'm going to sneeze, my allergies. Ooh, there we go. Very good staple wizard card. Wizard's like not very strong without that card, let me tell you. Foil Seismic Surge, token, and a couple of rares. So far, foil tokens have only been available in the supplementary sets. So Crucible, you can get Seismic Surge, I believe Rune Chant, and I also believe you can get foil baubles. That's the one. Which is weird because it's not a draftable set. There's absolutely zero reason for baubles to be in the set. I believe I'm right. I think Crucible is the foil bauble set. Either way, Everfest also brought in some more, but they don't overlap. So I believe in Everfest, when you get a Seismic Surge or a Rune Chant, it's not foil. The only way to get them is in Crucible Unlimited or First Edition. Crucible Unlimited's been out of print for a long time. Not very easy to find boxes. Definitely a short print run on that product. Halfway through the box. So the legendary I was talking about is Shiana, to those of you who don't know. Okay, foil Majestic, poison the tips. The other legendary in this set was the first reprint legendary, which is the Tunic, also known as the Crunic. Non-foil, a little bit boring, but a staple card. There we go, foil rune chant. Oh, and a Skullhorn. Equipment in crew is short printed and very valuable. Most classes use their equipment from crew if it exists. Look at that, cold foil, plasma barrel shot. I don't believe this is the good mechanologist weapon, but cold foil first edition, well, cold foils are first edition, but cold foil rare weapons in crew still hold some value because they're pretty rare. Red liner, I don't believe a staple for our ranger friends, but dread triptych. So as you can see, you get a lot of majestics in crew. I think it was the first set to have, I think the sets before this only had a couple of majestics on average per box, and you had super rares, which was eliminated in crew. So the super rares are basically majestics in this. You only see, it goes rare to majestic. But you'll see some super rares in a moment. So these boxes are still significantly more than their retail. Second foil rune chant. Extremely hard to come by. The set is full of valuable cards because a lot of classes need them or want them for their builds. So, or different builds or different deck heroes require some of the cards in this. So as a set goes, one of the more consistently profitable sets to open. Would I recommend opening first edition crew? Not if you're trying to make money, but for nostalgia and collectability, for sure. All right, last pack. Not guaranteed cold foil, or not even one per box on average for Crucible, so the fact that we hit one is already quite good. But overall, the box is fairly ordinary in value. One foil Majestic. See, again, we're actually very low on Majestics. Usually you'll hit 8. In crew, I've seen 9 and 10. So 7 with one foil is low. You also have the chance, this is the only set other than Everfest with a chance of a Majestic cold foil, I believe, which is equipment. And they hold a very large premium because equipment doesn't get shuffled, hence people will actually buy an $800 chess piece and play with it. Unlike some of the other sets, like Tales of Aria, where cold foil gets shuffled and people don't always want to do that with their cold foils. Arcane Rising. The second set for Flesh and Blood. It was printed as Alpha, meaning it was printed at the same time as Alpha, but introduced 4 new heroes. The first ones that use arcane damage, which is not blockable. And that's Runeblade and Wizard in this set. I've never drafted this. I've heard it's a little bit clunky to draft because of the different damage types, etc. And the heroes in this are slightly more complex to play than what happened in Welcome to Wraith, the original set. But this set, because of how old it is, holds a premium. Also, nearly every card in here is also played in a lot of decks because it contains all the building blocks for these original 4 heroes. Arcane Rising is out of print, including Unlimited. You can still get your hands on it, but again, it's nearly required, the cards from it, to make a lot of heroes work. Oh, jeez. Okay. Legendary in Pack 2. Let's treat that carefully. This is a multiple $1,000 card. Grasp of the Arknight. Especially seeing that Runeblade's meta strong. That usually means the cold foil versions of their equipment hold a large premium. Extremely lucky to hit a cold foil at all in a first edition box. So cold foil legendary is an amazing find, an amazing hit. That snuck up on me too. I usually slow roll that, but I was too busy talking. All right. Second pack magic. Whew. So first edition, as you can see, there's no coloring on the bottom. That's only in Arcane and Welcome to Wraith. They're the only two that do not have anything around the lettering at the bottom. The promos from this era also don't. And then everything since is a solid block of color for first edition and a hollow colored circle for Unlimited. I'm not opening Unlimited, so I'll be unable to show you. But the artwork in Arcane, not my favorite, but just, again, introduces you to a lot of the more, should we call it mystical? I guess that's one way to put it. Wizard, mechanologist, ranger, and Runeblade. That's the one. Again, when Flesh and Blood do art, it's very thematic. It's very on brand for the class, which I love. There we go. It's very... Have I been doing this wrong? I have. You know, I'm so caught up making the video. I've been basically we're going to maybe backtrack a little bit here. I've been putting all my rares in the common pile, which is silly because, you know, it's silly because... And that's because I'm actually looking for... Yeah, I forgot the way these packs go. That's a rare. Maybe won't do the whole thing on camera just to not bore you guys, but actually I will. It's fine. You can learn with me to not do this. Because look, see? I'm going to get a million comments for missing it. Sorry, guys. That's a super rare. I haven't opened Arcane in a month, and it's very different to opening Unlimited, let me tell you, because the colors just stick out in Unlimited. More rares. The common equipment in Arcane is crazy valuable because it stops arcane damage. So when you're playing constructed formats, Blitz or Classic Constructed, you really need that for certain matchups. There we go, 2 rares there. All right, I'll pay more attention, I promise. I think this might be, yeah, 2 rares, and I think I got one more set of rares in here. Yep, there they are. Whew, I'm supposed to know this stuff. I literally do this all the time, but I guess not. Okay, we're back. So far, Legendary, Majestic. I think actually the Majestic, anyway, the Legendary is what threw me off. This is already all the spice you expect from a first edition Arcane Rising box, by the way. Pulling any cold foil is a huge occasion. Pulling a Legendary is nuts. You also don't always see more than one Majestic in a box, so one is already good. What we hope for here is to hit a foil Majestic, because that can also be a foil super rare, which is nowhere near as valuable. And on top of that, if this box has a Fabled in it, which is the Eye of Ophidia, if it happens to have a foil Majestic Command and Conquer or Art of War, this box value is crazy. So that's what we're hoping for. They're the chase cards that I would like to see. We're only halfway through this box. I do like going slower on these. Okay, super rare number 2. 9th Blade of the Blood Oath. This is I hate coming across that card when I'm playing against Runeblade, because it does 9 damage, but on Viserai, who can build up a lot of rune chance, usually plays that for 0 cost, which is, you know, not fun. This is now a banned card. That's a whole nother video, but it's an extremely strong card. You play it and it causes your next attack to draw a card if it hits, and if it's played from Arsenal, it's +3 damage as well, and then top that off with an attack reaction to make sure it hits. It's just crazy value. This is a very, very clean box of Arcane Rising, let me tell you. Majestic, Sonic Boom. Another Wizard staple. So there's our second Majestic, which is good. It's not guaranteed in this product whatsoever. Should open these packs the way the pros do, which is down the middle. All right. So it's 4 commons, 2 rares, and a rainbow foil. But again, in this set, rainbow foil is the spice slot. Is where you will see a cold foil if you're going to. All right. So pumped we just hit a legendary. I know I don't show it on camera, but very lucky. And salvage shot foil. Very common to see a salvage shot misprinted in Unlimited. Keep an eye out. A lot of the foils in Unlimited Arcane can have a weird coloring issue. Rare, and did we just get this card? We did, in yellow. So Arcane Rising is roughly half the price of what a first edition Welcome to Wraith is. My belief is that, there we go, another super rare, is the reasoning for that. I think the heroes are less popular. I also think because it came out afterwards, it's considered like the beta, even though it has the same print run, etc. I think there were just more people playing and opening and drafting Welcome to Wraith, and then this sort of took the backseat. All right, is this bobble gradable? It could be. That edge is not great. Look at that. I think I bent that on. Yeah, I bent the edge. That's on me. Plunder Run. Take cover. And a Far Sight. I'll find a way to be more gentle. I don't usually find bent edges, but that would have been me opening the pack for sure. Blue Plunder Run, Day Game Rare, and a Throttle. So again, only hope here is, although we might hit another cold foil, it's more likely that we just can or will hit a good foil Majestic, possibly 2. If it's a super rare, it's usually got less value. Some are okay, but there's definitely some not great value super rares. All right, Rapid Fire super rare non-foil, and an Aether Spindle. But again, if we hit nothing else in this box, amazing value just hitting the 1 legendary. See if the luck can follow over for the Welcome to Wraith box, because most of those legendaries are also worth twice as much as the Arcane Rising ones. Rare, rare, and a life for a life. Also, some of the cold foil equipment in Arcane Rising is actually worth significantly more than the alpha ones. Null Rune especially, because it's very, very playable. And Ravenous Rabble. Alright, how many packs? 2 left? 2 left. Wish me luck. If you've never opened Arcane Rising, I'd encourage you to open an Unlimited box. There's so many good cards in this set. That's a common. So Plunder Run rare, Pour the Mold rare, and a Searing Shot. Well, last pack. Hopefully maybe has a foil Majestic, otherwise or a foil super rare. That's the one slot we might be missing. I'm not sure if the legendary takes up the slot, because I just haven't opened that many legendaries, you know, in first edition. Absorb in Aether and Cadaverous Contraband. So no, unless, was this foil? No, it wasn't. Amazing box though. Light on the super rares, but again, hitting a legendary is incredible for first edition. Cold foil first edition Legendary is a big hit, no matter how you look at it. So that box is profit. Hit all the rarities we need to hit. No complaints from me. Quick plug, I am giving away one of these boxes in like 200 subscribers time, depending on when you look at this. It's for 2,000 subscribers. So if you're here watching and you're not subscribed, do it and then comment on the 2,000 sub video. I will open the box that you win, but you will get all the contents. And in that case, you would have been incredibly happy to get that. So, Alpha print. You'll note there's no Legend Story Studios marking on the wrapper, and that was fine for Alpha. They all look like this. One telltale sign of a legit box is these little, I don't know if they're breathing holes or just machine packing, whatever it is, but this is the most expensive sealed product in Flesh and Blood. It is by far my favorite to open. They're misprinted red stripe cards, which are pink stripe, if you're not aware. This is where it all started. It's probably easily most people's favorite set to draft. Also, most people who are very emotionally attached to a hero are probably emotionally attached to a hero from this set. Razor Reflex Red, though, is actually red stripe at the top, but then everything else with a red stripe is pink, which is right there. Pack 1, good example of the misprint or oddity in this set. So this set goes to common equipment, and then you hit the rare. That's a sick rare to hit. Flick Flack is good as well. And a Surging Strike foil. So this set brought in the Ninja, Warrior, Brute, and Guardian. The 4 most straightforward classes to play, and maybe the more interactive ones. When you play this set, there's that real feeling of you're in a duel, you're in a battle, slugging it out with someone. It's not unblockable arcane damage. It's not creating items and boosting and shooting with pistols. It's very medieval, very fantasy driven, and I think that's what makes this the best set, or most people's favorite. Pink. Oh, dude. Wow. 4 packs in? No. 3 packs in. Legendary. Wow. Wow. Okay. I guess I should make more love letters for LSS when I open boxes. This is the mat, it seems. This is an insane hit. This thing is worth, again, multiple thousands of dollars. Cold foil Legendary Alpha. Mask of Momentum. Staple for most ninjas. That thing is centered like a mofo. Oh, dude. I don't even want to touch it. That's going to grading tomorrow. What time is it? Yeah, it's too late to drop it off today. Wow. 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 Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. All right, back to the video. Rare. Super rare Forged for War. And a Whelming Gust Wave. So the chances, I don't know, someone make up the chances for me of hitting like 2 legendaries in 2 boxes, loose boxes like that. Fucking low. Very fucking low. Couldn't be happier. And what a video to do it on. Me trying to be all positive and lovey-dovey, huh? 2 rares, and if that was a pink strip, that's a very valuable card because it's red sync below is extremely strong, played in a whole multitude of decks. Alrighty. Fluster Fist, Warrior's Valor, and a pink barraging. Not a good hit. Generics like that are very rarely highly sought after, but anything pink stripe and foil in this set, it holds a premium, that's for sure. And Flock Featherwalkers. I play this in my deck. I can hear my phone ringing in the background, but it can wait till the end of the box. Well, Alpha is the... I mean, if you're like me and you like opening packs, here's an Alpha bubble. You know, we hit a 10 on one of these recently. This thing's not bad. Some edge whitening. There's some misconception while I'm talking about grading with PCG and how strict or not strict they are, but they're not trying to be more strict than other companies. So they are fairly lenient on some things. And that might get a 10, although, again, I don't have the eye for it. I just look for the real obvious stuff, and then the reason I get it graded is because I want an expert to tell me what they think. I don't really try and invest too much time or opinion in what I think what the grade should be, if you know what I mean. Blue Sluggism, but that might be a gradable one. I'm trying to get a quad 10, and a quad 10 Alpha bubble would be the that would be great. I got a lot of unlimited bubbles, but it just wouldn't hit the same as like an Alpha bubble, you know. Blue Flick Flack. This goes in a lot of decks. Oh, wow. Okay, this is the holy grail of this set if you're going to hit a Majestic. It's extremely rare to hit. It's extremely expensive, and it's an extremely powerful card. So the fact that there's a legendary and an E-Strike. I believe this box is the same, one of the same that I opened at Blood Rush Gaming live. If you've been following the channel for a bit, we hit Mask of Momentum and an E-Strike, I believe. Majestic spot. So 2 Majestics in a row is crazy. They're definitely not guaranteed. This has gone up in value, I believe, because of the addition of several new Guardians to the game. It's an extremely strong card. Played with Valda, it can have Dominate. Played on any other Guardian is still very strong because it takes away Go Again. So against most decks, against Warriors, against Ninjas, against pretty much everyone in this set, Go Again is quite valuable. So to lose it is not... You don't just have to deal with the 9 damage, you also have to deal with a much slower turn next turn. Foil Super Rare. So this might have taken up our Foil Majestic slot, but at this point, you will not find me complaining. This has got to be one of the better Alpha boxes I've ever opened. Legendary and E-Strike. Barraging. Oh, there's another gold foil in this box, dude. Alright, okay. Wow. Thanks, LSS, I guess. They didn't send me this box, by the way. This isn't sponsored, blah, blah, blah. Before people ask questions. I really just wanted to make a video showcasing the product and my love for it. It's definitely this whole channel is just about me and my passion for opening the game. But this is why the product's so fucking amazing. Like the cold foil on this, I don't want to pull it out of the sleeve, but like look at that. Like you take the right picture of this, it looks like a real piece of armor. It does not look like it's a print. The cold foils and Alpha are just something else. They're just... I don't think it'll ever be replicated. My theory, and I might ask James White this if I ever get the pleasure to meet him and ask. My theory is that this had more... I don't know if maybe James himself or someone was at the printer when this product was made. I don't know. This just feels like there was more hands-on, more of a bespoke product than anything after it. That's how I feel about the product. It just the foiling, I think they didn't, like when I say, I was about to say cut corners. What I'm trying to say is I don't think any cost was spared, right? I don't think they had any, I think they didn't cut a single corner or have a single cheap product or cost saving measure on this. I think when they did it, it was the very best of the best was used, whether it was foiling, stock of paper, cold foiling. I think a lot of care was taken. That's how this feels. Not to say the other sets haven't had a lot of... I'm not saying that. I'm saying this particular product, the first, feels like the baby. It feels like this was when they had nobody had expectations from them. It was them themselves judging their own product, and they wanted to create the best, and this is by far the best Flesh and Blood product. The market also says it is, because it's at such a premium to buy. Pink Drone, Staunch Response, and a Flock. So expectation-wise, maybe another super rare, but other than that, really wouldn't expect any more heat in this box. Beautiful. Unexpected, but a Warrior staple card. There's 4 super rares, 5, and 2 majestics, and a legendary. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. I'm happy we didn't get this lucky in the cheaper boxes, and we held all the luck till the end of the video. If you're still here, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. 5,000 subs, you'll get an alpha box open for you if you win it. Now, let's have a look at this bubble. There's dust there, maybe. Don't look too bad. You know, I like PCG. I'll send them more cards. And when I say send, I'll walk down the road. If you haven't realized, if you haven't watched many of my videos, PCG grading are literally 200 meters away from my house. It's great because I can do the walk-in service. Like for something like a legendary, pay the $80 and get it done on the day before it even has a chance to get any damage or even see much light. Last pack, common pink foil Iron Song Response. Wow, guys, buy more Flesh and Blood. If you've never had the experience, the like opportunity to open alpha, Unlimited is just as fun to open. Like nothing changes really with the card art or anything. The difference is you're not going to hit a $20,000 heart, and you're not going to hit a cold foil. But as experiences go, if you've ever thought of getting into Flesh and Blood, drafting this is probably one of the best experiences you can have to get into the game. It's balanced. It feels balanced anyway. Remember, I've only drafted this and Tales of Aria, and this is definitely better than Tales of Aria for me as a novice player. But wow, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I will see you soon. Stop complaining about the game. The game is great. If you have gripes or whatever, the negativity stuff, just my advice is, if you don't think you know more than the people making the decisions, I mean, you can have an opinion, but I feel like when you open this product, when you have a look and you can see how much passion went in and the amount of like iconic art and creativity with mechanics and heroes, and like I think so here's what I'm trying to say, the emotions you have negatively are caused usually because you're disappointed in something you love. Like if you didn't care, if you were neutral about something, it's usually because you're neutral about it. Like the way I feel about Metazoo, I don't care, so I don't have reason to hate or love it. Look at the product. The product's fucking amazing. The people making the product, by all accounts, seem fucking amazing. Give them space to do what they're doing. I don't think you need to give them advice. I don't think you need to overthink the market. I don't think you know much about the market if you're making opinions about it on the internet. People that know, like really know, are in it. They don't make videos about opinions. They usually are actively in it and buying and selling and trading, and they don't necessarily share their secrets. So enjoy the game, enjoy the art, enjoy buying and selling and trading and collecting it. And if you need to take a break because you don't like the meta or whatever, take a break. But being negative doesn't. Oh, look, I'll show you what I'm trying to say. Can you even read my shirt at this angle? See? That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you for watching Fluke Box. Please subscribe for more content.